Hey, what's up YouTube? My name is B-Trams and today I'm showing you a game I played a while back, probably a month or so ago. The game type is Hardpoint on the map Slums, and I'm rocking the MSMC in this public match. My score streaks are Lightning Strike, Stealth Chopper, and Lodestar, but that's not really important because this was a very fast-paced, competitive game, and I don't believe that I earned any score streaks. What I did get was what I think is a really great example of a technique called spawn anchoring, and I want to use this game just to explain spawn anchoring and its importance, especially in game types like Hardpoint, where spawn control is essential if you want to beat a good team. And as a bonus for you guys, you'll see gameplay against at least one professional Call of Duty player, and I say at least one just because I'm not sure if there's more than one pro in here. They were all very good, but I only recognize one of them by name. Anyway, the pro player's gamer tag is Fariko TuQuick, and we just barely got the win against him in this game. It's a nail biter at the end, so I hope you stick around. So now that you have some context, let me dive right in. Call of Duty, as we all know, can be a really random game, and your experience playing online is dictated by random things that can happen either in or out of your favor. So, for example, grenades take odd bounces, sometimes hit detection doesn't seem quite right, or maybe there's another guy on the other team that you just can't get the jump on for whatever reason. But spawns in Call of Duty, believe it or not, can be manipulated to your advantage rather easily. And I say that believe it or not just because I know a lot of people who get mad at the spawns. Someone comes up behind them and they freak out. Well, it's normally not, it's never just the game's fault. It's a teammate of yours pushed up too far into their spawn and changed it. So, after this video, I hope you have a better understanding of the spawn system, at least in Hardpoint, and how you can use it to control. How you can control the spawns and use that to your advantage. So what you need to do is just you need to be playing with a team that communicates and knows what they're doing. They have to be good, obviously, and they have to be willing to deviate from their typical routine of, say, rushing into a hard point, picking up a few kills, dying, respawning, and repeat. So I'll get more into that later with exactly what you need to do to anchor spawn. But by definition, spawn anchoring is using one or more players on your team to flip your team's spawn location into your favor. And all professional teams, all MLG Pro Circuit teams use this strategy. It's really standard for them, but I don't see many people in public matches use it, and I think that public matches could be a lot more competitive if people just studied the game just a little bit. It doesn't take much, and learned how to do stuff like this and made them a bit better games. So I know good teams on Game Battles do this as well too, so I'm not hating on them. In public matches, you can use this strategy in almost any game type. Obviously not in Search and Destroy. Demolition and CTF, I don't think the spawns flip. They don't flip, but I don't think they change at all, really. But I personally worry about it most in Hardpoint, and I just stunned myself like an idiot there. Don't laugh at me. I personally worry about it most in Hardpoint. As you probably know, Hardpoint has teams control hills, and as the game calls them, hard points, and they're located in various parts of the map. They cycle through in a set pattern, and I'll explain the pattern here. The first one is on the fountain in the middle where it is now. The second is what I call backyard, right by where I spawned. The third is on the opposite side of the map, inside of that fence, right where I'm pointing. On the other side of the map though, and the fourth is in the garage, and then it cycles back through fountain. Now if I was to spawn by backyard right where I am now, if I was to do that all game, that would put me at a disadvantage for 2 of the 4 hard points. the one by the fence, and the one in the garage. And then on top of that, the one in the middle is always kind of a throw up, but you don't want that. You don't want to be at a disadvantage for two of them and then not be certain that you can have control over this one in the middle. You only have real control of the one right here where it is now if you're spawning back here, and that's only if they don't push you out of it, which they just did. As you see, someone ran into the back and anchored the spawn, and we flipped to the other side. So they did a really good job there, and we do come back. So if you're fighting for a hardpoint that is closer to the other team's spawn like I am now, it's really hard to control. You see us dying all over the place, and it's not a good position to be in. So to prevent this from happening, we need to anchor spawns before the hardpoint moves to a location that would put you at a disadvantage. So first you need an anchor, and that will be anyone on your team who is willing to sneak or spray their way across the map. And to effectively anchor it, you'll want to send your anchor, you're going to want to send it maybe 15 seconds before the hardpoint switches. Online, hardpoints last for 1 minute exactly, so make sure you keep an eye on the clock and manage your team accordingly. We did our best here, but we definitely could have done better. I think the first half of the map we didn't anchor spawns at all. So you see them here trying to push up on our back spawn, and they just anchored the spawn right there. They pushed back and sat back there until we spawned out and they spawned in. So now they're closer to that hardpoint that's next to the fence, and now I'm doing it back. I got fortunate there and killed a couple of them. Got taken out though. So it's really kind of a toss-up on this hardpoint. Anyway, once you're in their spawn, once the anchor is in their spawn, they're going to want to sit in the very back. Just find a nook and cranny and sit down until your team starts respawning, and they'll eventually respawn right next to you, and the other team will, as we call it, spawn out, which is spawn out of that spawn and give you the advantage. So now that spawn's yours, and it will continue to be until the enemy team pushes deep into your spawn again, or until you anchor back to the other side, which you will eventually need to do. So once this goes to backyard, once the hardpoint moves back to the backyard, you're going to want to anchor back to that side, ideally. And that's spawn anchoring. It's simple, I know, which is why I'm not sure why it's not done more often in public matches. I think public matches would be a lot more fun and more competitive if people did stuff like this. It's just a really simple strategy to use, and it's easy to use. Just takes a little bit of studying of the game's patterns, and I think I would enjoy public matches more if more people played like this, used strategies that make it a more competitive game overall and less random. So to recap, you have to know where the objective is moving. You need to send your anchor with enough time to flip the spawns before the objective moves, ideally. And so time management is key. Once you memorize the objective's patterns, like I said before, like patterns of movement, like the order of hardpoints, and also the timing of these patterns, it gets way easy. And then your time playing online isn't dictated by random stuff that'll probably piss you off, like random nades. I mean, obviously you're still going to get hit by random grenades and it'll still make you mad, but you'll have more of the more control over the game in at least one way, and in this way it's the spawns. I think controlling spawns is the easiest way to give your team an advantage. And so right there we just spawned in the backyard. We let them have that entire hard point just because we wanted to set up here and make sure we had a favorable spawn, because we know that if we get this entire hard point, we're going to win the game. And then I come through here, I'm pushing through blue, making sure no one comes through middle. I don't get anyone, and I screw up on the reload glitch, and I pay for it. So I spawn out along with the rest of my team, and we do manage to get back in there and win the game, just barely. And that wraps things up. I'll let you guys watch the rest for yourself. I really hope this helped out, and if you liked it, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it just a quick thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.